Most people in their life have made a sponge at one time or another, but believe it or not, there are still people who have never made a sponge. So for my tray bake today, I'm using self-raising flour. I am using sugar. I've used up the last of my caster sugar and the normal sugar. It really doesn't matter. When a recipe says caster sugar, it really doesn't have to be caster sugar, as far as I'm concerned. Margarine, my go-to margarine is always Stork. That's for my sponges and for the buttercream that I'll be using tomorrow to decorate it. And eggs. So, in the bowl, we already have the flour weighed out, which is 10 ounces of flour. And to that 10 ounces of flour, there is 10 ounces of sugar, 10 ounces of margarine. So it's all the same, 10, 10, 10, and then 5 lovely eggs in that glass to go in. The only thing I might have missed out is, you can get out, a little pinch of salt, which I've just put in the flour. And when my mother taught me to make sponges, she always said, pop in a pinch of salt. I still to this day do not know why, but she told me to put salt in, I put salt in. It's just a little pinch. So that's it. Margarine, flour, sugar, eggs. And this is not one of those recipes where you cream the sugar and cream the eggs together. All this goes in the mixer and is just mixed together in one go. So here we go, let's mix it up. So there we go, everything is in my trusty mixer. The whisk is on and I'm just going to whisk it up. If you have a cover through mixer, you can put it on this point to stop any of this dust going, but we're alright, we quickly passed that stage. Always important, halfway through the mixing, is to scrape the sides of the bowl down, because you want everything to mix in. What normally happens if I take the bowl off, all that starts falling on to the base. So, all I'm doing here is just scraping everything down from the side of the bowl. Give it a little mix down the bottom of the bowl just in case there's something that hasn't mixed in. And there's just one more thing I'm going to add, and that is some vanilla extract. It just, I don't know, it just uplifts that sponge a little bit. So it's a little bit of vanilla extract gone in there. Popping back on full speed. And there we are, simple as that. The sponge mix is done. Now that was literally chucking everything in the bowl and just whisking it up. So we leave the whisk over there. That's the cook's treat, as they say. So if you're doing any sort of baking, make sure that you invest in a couple of these little scrapers, because basically they are worth the world. I recently picked a couple up on the internet. And these scrapers just make everything, look how smooth that sponge is. Absolutely gorgeous, as they say, gorgeous. So this scraper now will get everything out of the bowl. And there you go. Now my hands are perfectly clean, so I have to be honest, my favourite way to do this is to just push it into the corners with your hand. You've got much more control over it. Like I say, make sure your hands are nice and clean, which mine are, and then you can gauge how thick it is in certain places, and take it right to the edge of the tin. Oh, happy days. So I'm quite possibly going to make 2 of these and sandwich them together. I've already fired up my oven, and it's a fan oven, so I'm doing this at about, to start off, about 160 I think. There you go. So that's the sponge in my tin, all ready for the oven. So that sponge has literally taken me, say, 5 minutes to weigh the ingredients, 5 minutes of mixing it, if that, and a couple of minutes to put it in the tin. It's all ready to go in the oven. I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out.